Talkin' Country.
You're listening to Talkin' Country with Paul Taylor.
Hi, welcome to my channel, Talking Country, where we'll be chatting to the stars of country music from around the world, whether it's in Nashville, Australia, UK, Ireland. You'll get it here first. If you like us, subscribe and give us the big thumbs up. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Every street, every red light, but I still got lost staring in her eyes. They were Carolina blue. We turned it up when that song came on. She knew every word by heart. We were singing along in the dark to that song of the summer, driving around with the windows down. I'll never forget her. That shotgun smile every midnight mile had her hands on me, working overtime, making it hard to stay between the lines. Back when it was just you and I, and that song of the summer, song of the summer.
We danced, we laughed until we cried. 3 months, man, they flew on by. A little bit too fast, just like that playlist, we moved on.
Now all that I got left is a memory I won't forget. And that song of the summer, driving around with the windows down. I'll never forget her. That shotgun smile every midnight mile had her hands on me, working overtime, making it hard to stay between the lines. Back when it was just you and I, and that song of the summer, a song of the summer. Song of the summer. I can still remember that song of the summer.
I still remember
driving around with the windows down. I'll never forget her.
No, I'll never forget
that shotgun smile every midnight mile had her hands on me, working overtime, making it hard to stay between the lines. Back when it was just you and I, and that song of the summer, I can still remember that song of the summer. Song of the summer. Song of the summer.
2-1. Well, that was a brilliant, brand new single. That Song of the Summer, the summer anthem, and that's by Tebey and Una Healy. I have got your name pronounced right. Is that right?
You have, yeah, you nailed it. Fantastic.
Oh, that was a load off. But how are you doing? All the way from London, but originally from Canada. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. So great to be back. I love the UK so much. It's got a special place in my heart, and you know, for not being able to be over here for 18 months, it was horrible. So I'm glad that I'm back.
I'm glad you're here because I know some of the Americans have pulled out some of the festivals, and you're headlining on Sunday at the Buckle and Boots, which we promoted very much here. Gary Quinn's a great mate of mine. I'll be there on Sunday as well, so to catch a performance. But I bet you're excited to get out there and see the crowd, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, this will be my first full band performance in well over a year, in front of live people as well. So it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to get back up on stage. I think there's a lot of people here in the UK that are excited to hear live music again, especially country music, and hopefully they're able to make their way out to Manchester this weekend.
Well, Manchester, from where I live right now, I live near towards Liverpool, so it's right near the Beatles kind of thing, about 15 miles away from Liverpool. But I can be in Manchester in a half an hour, so I'm really stoked to get there on Sunday. It's my first time at Buckle and Boots.
Oh, cool. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've got a loads lined up there. I've got quite a lot of interviews to be done, so that's going to be quite manic. But it's great to meet you in person, my friend. And like I said, what a great single as well. Like you said, it's blazoned as the summer anthem, and everybody now the lockdown's easing, everybody ready to party.
Absolutely. Yeah, song of the summer. I mean, it's one of those things where I actually held on to that song for over a year. I mean, we've had it recorded and finished from this time last year, but we just wanted to make sure we could get it out in time for the summer. And obviously we asked Una Healy to be on the duet version, and she said yes. So here we are a year later, and the single's finally out.
She's an amazing artist in her own right. Obviously, originally with the Saturdays, got her own radio show which I listen to as well. I don't care, even though I do a radio show. I'm not blinkered. I listen to others with the country hits. It's now on Absolute Country now, isn't it? It's all changed. But I have seen her at C2C as well, Una Healy. You've been at the C2C as well. Was it 2019?
Yeah, I've actually been going to the C2C festival probably for 3 years now. Started coming over probably back in 2018 or so. I didn't really know anybody in the country music industry over here in the UK. So I brought my manager Jill over with me, and the first couple of years were really just a networking type of situations, meeting as many people in the industry as I possibly could, and kind of introducing them to my music and what I've been doing back home in Canada and the States. And it's been amazing. I mean, over the last year and a half, 2 years, just from playing C2C one time, and then continuing to come over here and having a single with Una and other songs that have done well on radio in the UK. I feel like I'm kind of jumping the queue a little bit. I feel like I'm moving my way towards the front of the line a little bit, and I'm excited about what the future holds for country music and for me in the UK.
And I think you've just nailed it in what you just said there about networking. And it is so an integral part of an artist. I mean, yes, you can leave it to your management peer, but they like to see the artist and get to know them and get warmth to them, don't they? And again, networking is like, I've worked in sales and stuff all my life, and networking is an integral part of that. But it's great that you came over and network, because C2C is just phenomenal. I love the place.
Absolutely. I think a lot of folks from across the water don't really understand how much potential country music has in the UK. I mean, even if you just look back to what Garth Brooks was doing in the UK and Ireland back in the late 90s, I mean, there's definitely a fan base here for country music. I just feel that a lot of the fans may not have the outlet to receive to hear country music like we do back home. So it's just about coming over here continually for C2C and other festivals, and just growing the fan base one by one. And you know, if I could have the fans, the industry folks take away anything from this whole trip of mine, is just my dedication to this market. You know, being willing to sit in quarantine for potentially 10 days.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was out in 5, but potentially 10, just so I can keep building the fan base here in the UK. And I think I'm well on my way to doing that.
It's quite interesting, really, because I went to the very first C2C. I only went for Vince Gill and fell in love with like a little big town, Tim McGraw and all that, right near the front as well, which was cool. But as I was coming out of the hotel to go to the session, there was a lady out there with the cowgirl boots and all that. I said, "Oh, you're going to C2C?" Obviously, she said, "Yeah, I don't know anything about country music. I'm just going to support my boyfriend, who's a big avid fan." I said, "Today you will find out how big country music is in the UK." And I saw her later on that evening. She went, "Oh my God." I went, "Yes, you know, it's not secret anymore. It's out there, you know."
No, it's not. I mean, when you can sell 16,000 tickets at the O2 Arena in London, which is obviously not a country hotbed. I'm holding up the air quotes.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you how many fans are scattered throughout the UK and Europe. They are here. I know they're here. I've met a few of them, and it's my mission to make them all Tebey fans.
Well, yeah, I mean, March, it's his country. I mean, it's just take over London. You know, it's just chaos.
I don't think London has ever seen so many cowboy boots and cowboy hats as they get every year in March for C2C.
Absolutely. I'm one of these days, we're going to get a couple of people riding steers through like Buckingham Palace and that without the big hats. But no, like I said, it's such a great single, a great project as well. But how did it all start for you? Where did it all? I mean, obviously Canadian, which I apologize. Normally, when I have a Canadian artist on, I have a Canadian baseball cap on, because I went to Canada, fell in love with the place, Banff, you know, all those places, Lake Louise, Vancouver, you name it. I went and I just fell in love with the place.
Yeah, Canada's great. I mean, it really is very similar to the UK in the sense that we're all part of the Commonwealth. The Queen's on our money as well. So I feel like there's a definite connection between Canada and the
Which
UK
part of
and
Canada are
Australia.
you? Which part of Canada?
I'm originally from Toronto, and my wife is from the Niagara Falls area, which is literally right across the border. You just throw a stone and you're in the U.S. But yeah, no, Canada's a great place. I would highly recommend it to anyone from over here if they want to go and visit.
I want to do the Calgary Stampede sometime. I went to Calgary, but the Stampede wasn't there. But I didn't get to Niagara, and I think that's on my bucket list somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely should see it. It's one of the wonders of the world. The thing about Canada is it's just so big. I mean, we have 6 time zones. I mean, it's insane. It's a massive country. So I mean, it's literally it's a 5-hour flight from Vancouver to Toronto, and then you're only halfway.
I know.
So you still got the East Coast.
I know when I've had interviews with different artists like Aaron Goodvin and people, I'm like, what time zone are you in? Let me have a look. And I've got an app now that actually calculates it for me because I have made a few mistakes over the years. But no, it's great. And you've got some great musicians and over there as well who are flying the flag as well as yourself, like Gord Bamford. I'm a huge fan of Gord Bamford, which you've wrote a great song for as well. Is it Dive Bar?
Yeah, it was the #1 song for Gord back home in Canada. I've been really lucky over the last probably 10 years to have quite a bit of success as a songwriter, writing for other artists, not only in country, but in pop as well. I was living here in the UK back in 2013 because I was having a lot of success as a songwriter, working with bands like One Direction and Pixie Lott and JLS and people like that. Some pretty prominent UK pop artists. So that's kind of where I fell in love with the UK, was from living here over back in 2013. And it's just been kind of holding a special place in my heart ever since.
Oh, that's brilliant to hear. But like you say, we all started, you were a young guy in Canada. What gave you that sort of light bulb moment where you said, right, this is my path? Or was it songwriting and then you got into singing?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I mean, I've always wanted to be an artist and to record and release my own records, but I think at the beginning of my career, I just found myself being a songwriter kind of almost out of necessity. I didn't want to go and work a 9-to-5 job. I wanted to be in the music business, and a way for me to do that was writing songs for other people. And I had a good amount of success doing that, and that kind of led me into the transition of being an artist in my own right.
That's good. And when was the first sort of time you got up and performed yourself? Was it being a young boy or?
Yeah, just being a young lad. I mean, singing in church probably started when I was 7 or 8 years old. Eventually, I progressed into local performances and singing competitions across Canada, and then eventually moved to Nashville when I was 16.
16. Wow, that was a long time. I mean, did you come down there on your own, or did you have your family to support you?
No, I had my father. My father actually left his job in Canada to move to Nashville with me. So it's been a crazy road all these years. Many sacrifices made by not only my parents, but everyone around me to help me achieve this dream. But yeah, it's been a very, very long and winding road, but here we are, still in the game at 37 years old. So
still a young boy. I mean, I've just turned 60 in April. I mean, when you said 37, I go, oh, I remember. Did I remember what I did then? It's one of the memories going. But I think one of the key things as well, and this is for like the BCMA members as well, that obviously this video will go on there at some point, but on the workshop series, it's that support bubble around you, which is quite prominent, isn't it? It's, having that network of family and friends that support you, but also immersing yourself with other good writers, if you co-write, musicians, to actually get what you're trying to do as well. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the smartest decisions I've ever made in this business was surrounding myself with people who make me better, whether it's a manager or my songwriter friends that I work with. I just try to surround myself with people that challenge me to become a better writer and a better songwriter and a better singer. And that's ultimately what it's all about. I mean, for every artist that you see become a star. I mean, there's hundreds of people behind the scenes that are working to make that possible, who definitely don't get the recognition they deserve often.
And I think where some of the UK artists fall down a little bit, and it could be cost, and it could, you know, finding that, but it's having that PR management behind you as well. You know, the people who actually set this kind of thing up, like media. Whereas a manager will manage, they have a specific goal to get you out in front of everybody and network and whatever. And I think sometimes I've seen artists that are great and they're going, hang on, why have they not gone up to that next level? Because they're as good as this, and this, and this. And sometimes I think it's not having that extra layer of support.
Yeah, I mean, having the abilities and having the songs are only a small portion of what it takes to be successful in this business. I've learned that over the years. Any young up and coming artist who asks for advice, I always tell them, I'm like, learn the business of music, because at the end of the day, this is called the music business. It is a business,
Yep.
And songs are just a part of the battle. You really need to learn how to run your business and to be successful, and that's kind of what I try to preach to young up and coming artists who are thinking about giving it a go.
No, I think it's sound advice there, but from your own point of view, I mean, yeah, you do get knockbacks. It's not all plain sailing, you know. You do get, and a guy, one of my very first managers who was in sales said to me, and this was really good. He said, "You get paid on the nose." I went, "What, on the nose?" I went, "No, on the people who say no." Because everyone who says no, there's going to be one that says yes.
You hope.
Well, you hope, but it's right in what it's saying. It's all about not a scattergun approach, a more of a collective approach, where people will say no, and it might be no. I mean, look at Garth Brooks, for instance. Garth got knocked back by pretty much everybody on Music Row, but had the break when he was in the Bluebird, picked up the guitar, sang a couple of songs, and there was somebody in the audience that didn't hear the demo tape of one of those big major record labels and signed him up on the spot. And I guess that was lucky, but you make your own luck, don't you? You don't get, you get knocked down, you pick yourself up and you crack on.
Absolutely. Hey, let me turn off this dishwasher real quick, just because it's starting to.
Yeah, this is the life of an artist right here, right now. You'd think he'd have an army of people to do that, wouldn't you? But no, he's getting down and dirty with the rest of us.
I usually would, but not here in the UK. No.
Nice one. I like it. Like the comeback. So what's in the future for you then? What's coming around the corner? I know obviously we're saying the festivals, but writing, any new albums in the offering somewhere along the line?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as I get back to Nashville in a couple of weeks, I'm probably going to start writing for the new record. I know I'm heading down to Mexico in the fall just to try and get a little bit of a different vibe with my main producer and my main co-writer.
Like a Kenny Chesney vibe, ripped jeans, shorts.
Kenny Chesney, I love Kenny. We actually used to be signed to the same record company.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I've been able to hang out with Kenny a couple times, and he's awesome. He's a really good guy and very humble for the amount of success that he's had. But yeah, definitely someone to emulate as far as a career in country music is concerned. I mean, it's hard to find a bigger star than Kenny Chesney. But yeah, just start working on the new record. Hopefully at some point over the next couple months, and then see where that takes us.
Well, like I said, you've had lots and lots of stream hits throughout your career. Some, 50 million, something like that.
I don't know.
It's like that. It's what your PR company are taking out. So we take that as gospel, but with a little bit of, sprinkle dust on there. But yeah, but look at it. I mean, that is the difference between 10, 15, 20 years ago and now, is people go on the stream. You can go on Spotify and Amazon and iTunes and listen to your music, and it's got a whole different kind of vibe and audience out there as well. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the best things about streaming today in today's market is the accessibility that people have to music. It's so easy for them to hear a song on the radio or hear it while they're standing in an elevator, and just to pull out their phone and figure out who sings that song and almost instantly become a fan. So that's a great thing about streaming and kind of where the music business is at today.
That app, Shazam, is brilliant. The app Shazam, and I'm going, who's singing this? And right, okay.
Tells you instantly. So I mean, the business changes. I've been in the music business a long time, and just like anything else, it evolves. from the way that people access their music to anything really. So I'm happy with the way the business is at right now, and I think that the future is very bright.
And before we leave, there's a question that I ask many artists. And it's the Mount Rushmore question. And that's basically, obviously, you're Canadian, not American, but you know about Mount Rushmore. And if you had your chisel and you said, right, I want to put people who've inspired me on that mountainside, not the people that are there, who would be the 4 people that you would actually replace those with?
Wow. That's a great question. That's a really good question, actually. I'd probably go with Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, George Strait, and Max Martin.
Max Martin. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Max Martin, but Max is probably, other than Paul McCartney, the biggest songwriter in the world. I mean, he's written countless pop hits. I can't even tell you how many pop hits he's written, from everyone from the Backstreet Boys to Britney Spears, The Weeknd, Pink, all of these artists over time, over the last 20 years. A lot of their hit songs have been written by a guy named Max Martin, who is he's almost like a recluse, where people don't really know what Max looks like. They don't really meet him, but he is an absolute genius. He's Swedish. So for any of your listeners who are interested in the people behind the scenes, I highly recommend you Google Max Martin.
That's a great call, because I say over the course of the year, I've interviewed likes of Kent Blasey, Jimmy Ritchie, Ed Hill. I did last night again. I've wrote so many big hits, and it's only then I've started to appreciate like you're saying, behind the scenes. And it's like I always sort of liken it to an iceberg, where you see the top of the iceberg, but 2/3 of it is still underwater. And that's the support, that's the people around it, and the songwriters. And you never get, say, some of these artists doesn't even know who's wrote it. It's just in front of them, and they make a hit single. And I've been so interested in that kind of business and the producing side of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of fans don't realize just how many songwriters are behind the scenes providing songs to some of their favorite artists. I mean, I think there's a misconception that all artists write their own songs. People like Tim McGraw and Blake Shelton. And the truth is, Tim McGraw and Blake Shelton don't write any of their own songs. That's a fact. It's people like myself or other people behind the scenes that are writing their hits for them, and they're simply the face for it. So yeah, that's another little cool tidbit of information to kind of pass on to people, that don't forget to see who's writing some of these songs, because you might be surprised. It may not be your favorite artist.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned something new today with one of your inspirations as well. And I mean, it's quite interesting, really. Some of the artists said, "Oh, 4's a bit of it's a bit. I need more than 4." I said, "Well, you've got the chisel. Do another couple." So it's like that. But no, that is so. It is so amazing when you say about the people who've wrote these songs. And like I said, some of the artists never write their own songs, but also they don't even know who wrote the songs, and it's so humbling to see and to talk to songwriters. And one of the songwriters actually said to me, I said, "Where'd you get your inspiration from?" He said, "Well, when I'm a bit stuck, I go to Walmart and just people watch for an afternoon." I'm like, wow. It's like,
yeah,
whatever works, and gets a number 1 for it, like, so whatever works.
Absolutely. I mean, finding inspiration is probably the hardest thing that a songwriter / artist has to do. For me, I tend to find a lot of my inspiration when I'm in my car, just driving. Living in the States, obviously America is much bigger than the UK, so for us to go on a 2-hour car drive is not really that big of a deal.
No.
So it's quite easy to let my mind wander and just try to think of ideas when I'm driving. But I mean, as far as inspiration for music, it comes from everywhere, from people watching, as you just mentioned, or traveling. I always find that I'm very inspired when I travel, and that's why I enjoy coming to the UK and Europe, because just being in a different place, even right now I'm staying in Soho, just being in Soho and waking up and going to a different cafe for coffee and
so
talking.
Vibrant. It's
Absolutely.
so vibrant around there, yeah.
It's all about the vibe, and it just gets the creative juices flowing. So that's why some of my biggest songs I've written, not only for myself, but for other people, have been when I'm traveling.
Oh, that's brilliant. But I really look forward to your set on Sunday, and hopefully meet you in person as well, and just say hi. And but yeah, good luck with everything that you've got coming forward for you. And like I said, we've been playing your music for quite a while now, so it's nice to meet you in person, and play more new music coming forward as well. And we play a lot more of your music during the course of the second hour of the program as well. So thank you very much, Tebey. You enjoy yourself. Stay safe and stay well. But thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. You take care now.
Awesome.